Subscribe now if you're brave enough to keep watching. The first sign something was wrong wasn't the abandoned car. It was the headlights. Still on. Engine running. Driver's door open. Parked just outside Kisaragi Tunnel, a narrow road passage tucked deep into mountains, far from the bright city lights of Japan. Police arrived expecting an accident, maybe a medical emergency. Instead, they found a wallet, a phone recording in progress, and no sign of the driver. The man's name was Kenji Sato, a delivery driver who knew the road well. He had sent a voice message to his wife only minutes earlier, saying traffic was light and he'd be home soon. The recording didn't end there. Detective Aya Nakamura listened to it inside her car, rain tapping softly against the windshield. At first, it was ordinary road noise, tires on wet pavement, low music playing in the background. Then Kenji's voice changed. He sounded confused. "There's someone walking inside the tunnel," he said. A pause. "That's strange, no one should be out here." The audio crackled. The music stopped abruptly. Kenji whispered, almost laughing nervously, "They're not moving." Another pause. Then the sound of his car slowing. The recording ended with a sharp inhale followed by silence. Aya stepped out and stared into the tunnel. It was longer than most concrete walls, stained with age, lights flickering unevenly overhead. Local rumors claimed accidents happened there too often. Some drivers refused to take it at night, choosing longer routes instead. But rumors weren't evidence, until another car disappeared. 3 days later, a young couple driving home late at night vanished after entering the tunnel. Security cameras showed their vehicle going in, but never coming out. No crash, no debris, just absence. Authorities shut down the road temporarily, installing additional cameras and sensors. The footage revealed something unsettling. Vehicles entering the tunnel often slowed down halfway through, as if reacting to something unseen. Some headlights flickered. Others swerved slightly, then continued. But on the nights drivers vanished, the cameras glitched for exactly 13 seconds. Aya interviewed locals, and one elderly man quietly told her the story everyone avoided. Decades ago, a bus carrying workers crashed inside the tunnel during a storm. Rescue teams arrived too late. Some survivors claimed they heard footsteps around them long after the tunnel was sealed, but no one believed them. Aya dismissed it as folklore, until she reviewed the most recent footage frame by frame. In the grainy image, Kenji's car slowed near the center of the tunnel, and standing just ahead of his headlights was a figure, not blocking the road, just standing there, motionless, facing the wall. The next frame showed nothing. But when Aya zoomed in on the reflection in Kenji's windshield, her breath caught. There wasn't one figure. There were several, lined up along the tunnel wall, as if waiting for someone to stop. The tunnel was closed again the next morning. Orange barriers blocked both entrances, warning lights flashing against the gray mountain fog. Officially, it was due to structural inspection. Unofficially, Detective Aya Nakamura knew the truth. No one wanted to drive through it anymore. She stood at the entrance with a small investigation team, staring into the dim corridor. The air inside felt colder than outside, carrying a faint echo that made every sound feel distant. The flickering lights buzzed overhead, irregular and uneven, casting shadows that seemed to move even when nothing did. They entered slowly, cameras rolling. Every step echoed. Halfway in, Aya noticed something strange. The tunnel walls were lined with old emergency alcoves, small indents meant for shelter. Most were empty, but one looked darker, as if the light refused to reach it. The technician beside her checked the sensor readings. "Temperature drop," he said quietly. 5 degrees lower right here. Aya shone her flashlight toward the alcove. Nothing unusual, just stained concrete and dust. Then her radio crackled. Static. A voice whispered something unintelligible. She checked the channel. No one was transmitting. They continued forward, reaching the exact spot where vehicles disappeared. Cameras captured every angle. Nothing moved. No figures. No sounds except the soft hum of electricity. Then the lights went out. Total darkness swallowed them. Someone gasped. Another officer cursed softly. Their flashlights flicked on one by one, thin beams slicing through the black. Aya's light landed on tire marks. Fresh. They circled slightly as if a car had braked suddenly and turned toward the wall. "Why would someone drive into concrete?" a technician murmured. Before anyone could answer, a loud metallic knock echoed from deeper inside the tunnel. 3 hits. Slow. Deliberate. The team froze. Aya forced herself to move forward, heart pounding. The sound came again, farther away this time, like something moving ahead of them, always just out of sight. Their cameras suddenly malfunctioned, screens filling with static, and then one officer shouted. At the far end of the tunnel, a pair of headlights had appeared. A car was coming toward them. Impossible, both entrances were sealed. The vehicle moved slowly, silently. Its lights flickered as it approached, illuminating the walls in pale flashes. Aya waved her flashlight, signaling for it to stop. It didn't. As the car drew closer, they realized something chilling. No one was driving. The steering wheel turned slightly on its own, guiding the vehicle perfectly forward. The windshield reflected their lights, obscuring the interior. The team scrambled to the side, pressing against the wall as the car rolled past. It moved silently toward the exit behind them and disappeared into darkness. When Aya spun around, expecting to see it continue toward the blocked entrance, there was nothing there. No engine sound. No taillights. Just empty tunnel. One officer whispered, shaking, that was Kenji's car. Aya checked the footage from her body camera. The car appeared clearly, but as it passed, something else was visible through the rear window. Shapes. Several people sitting silently in the back seat, all facing forward, all motionless, and none of them were supposed to be there. The investigation should have ended there. The tunnel was sealed indefinitely, official reports blaming electrical faults and visual misinterpretations. But Aya couldn't walk away. Every night she replayed the footage of the empty car, the silent passengers, the way the vehicle simply vanished as if the tunnel swallowed it whole. She needed one final answer. Against orders, she returned alone just before midnight. The mountain road was silent. Fog rolled low across the asphalt, swallowing the barrier lights in a cold, pale glow. Aya slipped past the tape, her flashlight cutting through the darkness. The tunnel entrance seemed narrower now, almost waiting. Inside, the air felt heavy. Each step echoed longer than it should have. She reached the midpoint quickly, the disappearance zone where the concrete walls carried faint scrape marks, as if something had brushed against them repeatedly over the years. Her radio stayed silent, but a faint sound drifted through the tunnel. Footsteps. Soft. Unhurried. Not hers. Aya spun around. Nothing. Then came the knocking. 3 slow hits, deep and hollow, vibrating through the walls. This time she realized it wasn't coming from ahead or behind. It was coming from inside the tunnel itself. Her flashlight flickered. The overhead lights buzzed to life one by one, illuminating the long corridor. And suddenly she saw them. Figures standing inside the emergency alcoves, half hidden in shadow, not moving, not approaching, just watching. Men, women, some wearing old uniforms, some dressed like modern commuters, their faces pale, calm, almost peaceful. Aya's breath caught when she recognized one face from missing persons file Kenji. He stood near the wall, eyes unfocused, as if trapped in memory. Her radio crackled to life. A voice whispered clearly, "Don't stop." Headlights appeared behind her. She turned slowly. The same car, Kenji's vehicle, rolled toward her in complete silence, engine barely audible. This time the windshield was clear. Every seat was filled, not with bodies, but with people staring forward, expressionless, as if waiting for something to begin. The car stopped inches from her. The driver's door clicked open. Aya felt a sudden pressure in her chest, a pull she couldn't explain, like the tunnel itself was breathing. She heard distant traffic horns, voices, sounds from another place overlapping with the empty mountain road. She looked back toward the figures in the alcoves. They were gone. Only shadows remained. The radio whispered again, "Keep driving." Aya stepped backward, refusing the open door. The tunnel lights began shutting off one by one behind her, plunging the passage into darkness, closing in like a countdown. She ran. The sound of footsteps followed, dozens of them echoing perfectly behind her, but never getting closer. She burst out of the tunnel just as the final light snapped off. Silence returned. When backup arrived minutes later, Aya was shaking but alive. Her body camera showed only empty tunnel walls. No figures. No car. Nothing. The tunnel was sealed permanently after that night. Yet drivers on nearby roads still report seeing headlights appear inside it after midnight, a car entering slowly but never coming out. And sometimes, if they listen closely, they hear 3 slow knocks echoing from the darkness. If this story haunted you, the next one will keep you awake. Hit subscribe if you dare.